go back to what really was going to be the first question, but I used the second question because it's the right lead in. What role does product management, your product management peer network, play in your professional development? So, John, I'm going to go back to you. And I mean, you've got a good core group, those 3 or 4 guys who you've worked with before. You've now got, hopefully us and some of the other stuff you do in the Atlanta area. How does that help you as you develop professionally?
I think we sort of talked about this a little earlier. It's around the diversity of ideas and different
Yeah.
approaches and different perspectives. I think that's the key element, right? Because it's really easy to get caught up, especially if you're that guy Steve was talking about who's only worked at one place, in the way it's done here or the way I'm doing it now, and lose track of how it could be better sometimes. So just like when you have whatever the problem is, I'm, going to the team and like, hey, I need help with this, or what do you think I should do in this scenario, or those kinds of things, or just having just random conversations about broader topics. And here's something I'm working on, which happens with the dudes in Slack channel,
Mm-hmm.
and just seeing that perspective is, I don't know, super valuable to me.
And, one of the challenges is asking questions that we're not going to have already answered before. Because often in the beginning we start talking on the answers from Monday, and I'm like, wait a second, that's my question. So let's go there. But yeah, I think that's key. It's that outside perspective. Jason, talk to me about you know your personal networking, the people you've met professionally, or even what's happened with the group we've been building here. How do you see that as something that's helped you your professional development?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, all week long. So, a secret about me, I can't imagine ever doing anything else besides product management ever. Like, if you ask me to do another role in a company, I won't take it. It's got to be something in product management. Like, I just don't care about anything else. And so, I think about it all the time. And so this gives me an outlet to be able to talk to some of the things I'm thinking about, especially the format of this, where I'm actually thinking about the topic from Monday as it's introduced all week long. But so it gives me something to think about, and that really energizes me as I'm kind of thinking about product management while I'm doing my personal stuff, and not just the work tasks. And so I think that I'm leveling up, if you will, subconsciously by being involved in these conversations that I get to dwell on all week long.
And there's the golden child coming with, boy, you ask a question and I think about it all week long. It's
Jason's the favorite. But
gosh.
no, but seriously, you think about it, we discuss it. It's deeper than I post an article or an insight on LinkedIn, and I get 350 people who give me a heart, and you're like, okay, but nothing else, or except some added value, like, good point, Steve. I mean, there's no depth
No
to
critical thought applied to the
Yeah.
responses. Yeah.
Well,
like,
but
hey, I will retweet this without having read it. But
that's the
seems like
difference
good.
between a one-way street and a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to build these trusted relationships where we're giving and we're getting from other people. And this whole social networking, and I'll use that as a generic term for LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever else, most of it's built around one way, right? I share something and people give me a like or a celebrate or an insightful or whatever all the things they have on LinkedIn are. There's not a dialogue, there's not a conversation. And I think John Harmer and I, when we were talking last week about ideas around podcasting, the key central thing for me was the conversation, because I could interview John and I could get good questions, but then that's not a evolution. It doesn't evolve the thought, it doesn't challenge, and we don't grow with it. And so to me, individual peers have helped me and my network in my professional development, both by getting me into roles that challenged me and help me do that, but also give me support when I needed it, right? And then I don't know how much the network ever did an education for me, but they definitely brought me new ideas and new perspectives to help me succeed with where I'm going.